afternoon to all the participants who have joined for this STP program. Myself, Raghavendra. I am the faculty as well as the convener of the research committee from IIMC. And so we will start the program in 2 minutes. Before that, let me tell about this program and the rules as well as the brief profile of our distinguished resource person today. So today's program is about academic research projects for the students at undergraduate level. The main objective of this program is that all the students who are pursuing their UG or PG, they have to undergo some academic projects in their final year or final semester. So with this regard, we thought that many students have faced many problems or on how to select the topic or how to get the data, how to analyze the data and all. So we thought that we will come up with some kind of SDP program on this topic. So accordingly, I have requested Professor Brijesh Singh, and Sir has kindly taken out our request, and he is going to resource all of us with regard to academic projects. And before going to start this program, let me tell you one important thing that if you have any kind of doubts or any kind of clarifications you require from the resource person, you kindly post in the chat box. At the end of the session, they will be answered one by one. That is one thing. Second thing is that you please make use of this particular program because we have received more than 4,200 participants all over India, the registrations. So there is a so much of interest with regard to this program, it seems. So the resource person is a very fantastic person, and he is having more than 20 years of experience in the field of research as well as in the field of commerce and management. So Professor Brijesh Singh sir, he is the associate professor from Department of MBA, SJBIT Bangalore, and he is highly involved in the research work. And to his credit, he has 16 UGC CARE publications and 18 Scopus Indust publications. He has connected more than 30 FDPs and 60 SDPs for the benefit of students, faculty, and research fraternity. So with these words, I uh, yeah, 1 minute. Yes. At the end of the session, you will be getting one feedback link in the chat box as well as in the YouTube link also. So I request all of you kindly fill up these links. Whenever you are filling up these links, please be careful. Do not give any kind of wrong names or wrong institution names, because according to these inputs only, we are going to publish the certificates from the Google. So I request all of you, whenever the feedback link is given here at the end of the session, both in the Google Meet chat box as well as in the YouTube link chat box, it will be given. So kindly, please fill up the things correctly so that you will get certificates correctly. We are not going to manually type the certificates. It will be done by the Google. So this is my humble request here, and please make use of this session for 2 hours, how to carry the academic projects. So with this, I'll just conclude, and sir, Vijay sir. Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, you can
Okay.
start, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So, okay. Now, I hope I am very much audible to all of you. If yes, please type. Okay. Please type one if I am audible to all of you. Oh, okay. I request all the participants to please mute. Okay. Okay. So before I start my session, few of the people are still in the unmute mode. I am able to hear my own voice again.
So I request all the participants kindly mute yourself. Otherwise, we have to forcibly mute you, mute all of you.
Okay. So going forward, just type which is the degree course you are doing it. Okay. Which is the degree course you are doing? Is it BCom, BBM, or any other program? Please type your degree course which you are pursuing right now. Okay. So I can see many of the people. Okay. So students have started typing now. Please type. Meanwhile, let me just share my screen with all of you. Okay. Even MCOM students are there. Okay. So done. So during the session at any point of time, if I'm not audible to all of you, please start typing numerical number 2 in the chat box. Okay, so we will play some coding kind of game here. And if I am very much audible to all of you, you can type 1. Okay, so along with that, in case of any doubts or anything, I request all of you to after 3:30, 3:45 onwards, you please type it in the chat box. And once the session is over from my end, I will be taking your all the questions one by one. Okay, and that's it. I think. Okay. So if my screen is visible to all of you, please start typing 3 in the chat box. If my screen is visible to all of you, please type numerical number 3 in the chat box. So whatever on my screen I'm doing right now, I think it will be visible to all of you. Okay, good. Thank you for confirmation. Done. So I will minimize the screen. Okay, done. Okay, okay. Okay, so I think now I can start with my session for which we all have created your own time. Okay, so let me take the blessings of our Swamiji here. So Jai Shri Gurudev, with their blessings, let me start the today's session. So today's title of the presentation was academic research project. Okay, so here what basically we are going to do is that we will try to understand from the different perspective. Okay, we will try to understand from the different perspective. The presentation which I have created here, it is not for a specific university or for the college purpose. Okay, so this is what I have guided more than thousands of students as of now for their project work. Okay, so on an average from the different universities, if you will look into plus minus some things will be changed, otherwise format of the reports will generally be the same across all the different universities. Okay, so going ahead in the forward, this is what we are going to discuss in today's 2 hours of session. That is what exactly this academic project work is from the student's point of view, and how to identify the problems, and along with that what is the literature review and from where basically you can look for a lot of research articles for your project work, and followed by and even just a second, many people are waiting, I think. So okay. So even what is the kind of research methodology you should apply, and how exactly you are going to collect the data, how you are going to do the analysis part. Okay, and what is the do's and don'ts of the project work, and there are certain general guidelines are there which you should always follow before you start doing your project work. Okay. So till here, I think I am clear to all of you regarding the content of the event, right? If yes, please type numerical number 4. Okay, try to respond bit fast so that we can go fast and we can discuss many things hereafter. Okay. 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 So I can see that people have started texting. Okay. Done. So, what is the basic guidelines for the any of the project work? Either you are in the postgraduate course or either you are in the undergraduate course. Okay. Uh, it will always starts with the kind of problem what you are defining for your research work. So here I will take it as project work as your research work. Okay. On an average, every university they will be allocating 4 to 6 weeks to do this project work. Okay. And what is the main thing they expect all of you to do is that, okay, what is the main thing they want you to do it is you should understand the organization, how well exactly they work about. Okay. Like you should understand their different types of departments. But now request to all of you is that don't try to go with the theoretical concept saying that my teacher taught me four departments, so I want to do the any kind I want to do it some kind of understanding only on those departments. Okay, generally people will think that there is only 3 or 4 departments like marketing department, finance department, or HR department, but in reality there are more than that. But in reality there are more than that, and that goes only based upon the nature of organization which you have selected. Okay, nature of organization which you have selected for your research work. So that is totally different than what basically you may have studied during your uh, any kind of courses, either you undergraduate or either the postgraduate. Okay, so what basically you should understand is in there is that like, okay, so what basically you should understand there is that like how exactly the departments are functioning, what is their process of work, from where they are getting the raw materials, what is the process they are taking up in their organizations, and and along with that, even they will try to see uh, like what kind of what is the research title or what is the project title have you selected for your research work. Okay, what is the project title have you selected for your research work? So it is always good if you consult with the your uh, research guide whom institute may have allocated to you, so that you can take the regular their guidance on the weekly basis or on the daily basis, depends upon what nature of project you are doing it. From the last 3 years, what we have seen is that most of the uni most of the universities, they have come up with the something called as industry based projects. Okay, so that industry based projects are nothing but it is called as actually the online project. Okay, where the candidate need not to go to the any of the uh, physically, they need not to go to the any of the company or organization, and being in one place they can do the desk based research. It is possible actually, but for that we need to have a very good network. We need to have a very good network. Okay, and what is the problem have you identified in your area of specialization? Let us take especially in BCom or BBM or BBA. People will come up with the different specializations, right? Like finance, marketing, HR, IT, operations, business analytics. So like that we have got multiple specializations there. So what is the exactly problem, or what exactly the area of specialization you have identified? So quite obviously, quite obviously, according to your specialization, you will be selecting the particular topic for your research. Being finance student, you cannot select the title in the emotional intelligence or related with the understanding of the customer satisfaction and all those things, right? So quite obviously, whatever the specialization you have, according to that, you will be selecting your so-called research work. Okay, so here, as I already have told or I have discussed, that objective of this project work is to bring some kind of extra input or knowledge on you with reference to one of the problem or one of the issue which you may have liked to take up as a research work. Okay, just a second. Okay, so generally for every project or every research work there will be some time duration, right? if you don't follow that if you don't follow that, then quite obviously possibility that you will not be able to complete your task on time. So for that reason it should always be between depends upon the university how much time, or depends upon the your so-called colleges. If suppose they are autonomous or they are having their own universities at that point of time, uh, that duration will be fixed by the institute if they are the deemed, or by the department if it is autonomous, and it will be fixed by the university if the institute is affiliated to the particular university. Okay, so that is basically the structure which they follow, and these are the some of the technical specifications you can always follow. Like when you start typing, see, report means what? Project report or project work will always go with certain kind of technical specifications. Like you, when you start writing your reports, okay, it should be in the Times New Roman. You should type your report in the MS Word, and the font size generally for the running matter we always use 12. We always use 12. Okay, and in case if it is kind of heading and all, like you are writing about chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, like that, so those things you can make it as 14 with all the capital letters. That is also absolutely allowed. There is nothing wrong in that. Okay, and followed by your the kind of sheets which you are going to take it a print kind. Okay, after making it soft copy you need to take a print of it. So at that point of time it should be, it means while typing itself you can fix the margin as 1 on all the sides. Either it is left, either it is right, either it is top, or either it is towards the bottom. Okay, you can fix it as 1, so that what will happen now, by default whenever you are keeps on continuing typing it, so whenever you are continuously typing it, by default, um, your page will be getting set according to that itself. Otherwise, you can even do that changes at the end, but that will lead towards the lot of kind of I can say that kind of formatting where you need to invest a lot of time to do that. Okay, and there is something called as justified, like it should look like a book, right? Like it should start from one end and across all the lines what you write, it should be in the same side. Okay, same lengthwise, basically I can say. Like you can see, you can open any page of the book, so there you can see everything will be in the very seems to be very neat and clean kind of printing. Okay, that is nothing but it is a justified model. It is just in your Microsoft Word you will find it after the center button, right? So you have to do that. Okay, you need to do that. And line spacing between one line with the another, it should be 1.5, and you should not give any kind of additional uh, paragraph spacing, either it is before or either it is after. Okay, then followed by we have something called as plagiarism. We have something called as plagiarism. Okay, what is this plagiarism is all about? So most of the time it is seen that people will try to believe on the copy paste kind of model. Yes, like you will copy some content and you will try to paste it over in the Word file. So can I say it is your own research work? Can I say it is your own project work which you have carried forward? So even the DTP people can do that, right? For that, we need not to be a graduate, we need not to be a postgraduate at all. So where our skill comes in the picture is here, where we should understand and we should write in our own wordings. That is what their whole research work deals with, or your whole project works will be working on that model. Okay, so if you copy from somewhere and you just try to paste it in another place, it will not add any kind of value. It will not add any kind of value. So for that purpose, you should always for that purpose, you should always believe on typing the content by yourself. Typing the content by yourself. Typing the content by yourself doesn't mean that you can see from the Google and you can type it here. That is also comes under the plagiarism only. Okay. So when this plagiarism can be avoided, when this plagiarism can be avoided. You read one article, what you understand from that, okay, what you have understood from that, you can just put it in the your own wordings. You can just try to put it in your own wordings. Okay, each and every university understands that you may have used author's name or you may have used certain kind of financial data. So you can go up to in that case you can go up to 20 percentage as a similarity index. You can go up to 20 percentage as similarity index, remaining as 80 percentage should be your own work. 80 percentage of the work should be your own work. Okay, so then only you can say that yes, it is your own project work which you have carried forward from the uh, which you have carried forward during the last few weeks or months or days. Okay, again this project duration, as I have already told, it will be between 4 to 6. In some, again you need to look for the companies who are ready to give you the project for 6 weeks. Okay, but going to the organization and doing the project is always good. Going to the organization and doing the project work is always good, rather than working in the online mode, rather than working in the online mode. So in online mode also, what happens that it will work, but effectiveness will not be there because you may have not went to the organization, you may have not interacted with the people. So all these things, it will generally lead to the certain kind of difficulties for all of you to understand what exactly is happening in the market. Okay, so till here, if I'm clear to all of you, please type numerical number 5 in the chat box. Till plagiarism, if I'm clear to all of you, please type numerical number 5 in the chat box. Okay, if I'm clear till here, please type numerical number 5 in the chat box. Okay, I'm getting the response. Maybe because here I have logged in with the 5 6 devices, so that may be the reason. Okay, so I think till here I am very much clear to all of you. So now let us move forward to the main content for what we need to discuss here. See, generally our whole research work, okay, generally our whole research work, you can define it under the 5 chapters. Okay, you can define it under the 5 chapters. Like we will have chapter 1, we will have chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. So when you will say chapter 1, it's all about the introduction part. Okay, it's all about the introduction part. So in introduction part, basically what you are supposed to write. Okay, so quite obviously here you will try to bring the conceptual knowledge. Here you will be trying to bring the conceptual knowledge. Okay, so like in chapter 1, what basically we are going to consider it. What we are going to consider it. Like let us take now we will stop the people, I think, by coming here. 1 second. Okay. So now in chapter 1, you can see that like if let us take you are doing the project work in any of the company. So what is the first thing will you are what is the first thing you will be looking about the company? Quite obviously, it will be about the introduction about the organization, right? Like where you will start finding it who was the owner of that company, when they started this organization, and followed by how many number of board of directors or board of members are there. Okay, and followed by many other things as well. Then you will try to identify that company where which you have identified to do the research work or to do the project work, under which industry it comes, under which industry it comes. So you will start looking on their industry, right? And you will start looking more information about the company as well. Who are the promoters of the organization? What is the vision and mission of the organization when for which they have started this organization, and what is the quality policy they follow? And along with that, before you select any organization, you should see that the company should have it should be a one of the registered company, should be a one of the registered company. Okay, what do you mean by registered company? See, please understand, some companies are there, they have got registered under section, they have got registered under Companies Act 1956. Okay, and okay, and there are certain companies, they have got registered under certain kind of associations, and there are certain companies they have registered as a central or state government legislation based company, and there are private firms as well. Okay, if anybody who is doing the project in the related with the finance, so I suggest them to always go with the companies where they have BS, they should have registered under BSc or NSC, so that learning model for you, all of you, will be more. In case if it is marketing or HR, it is always known that, okay, so if it is if any company which is there in the uh, if any company which is there, if anybody wants to do it in marketing or HR, it is always good if you can do your research work or your project work in the terms of, okay, in the terms of employees. Just see that you should have more than 15 more than 100 employees in case if you are planning to do the research work in any kind of HR field. If it is marketing based firm, so just see that their turnover should be more than minimum 1 crore, so that they will have good number of customers and you can go and you can meet them, right? Because finally you need to collect the data. For finance people, there are two sets of data they can use. Okay, either they can go for the secondary data or either they can go for the primary data. So anyway, this we will discuss more in the detail once we go to the research design. So for time being, please understand that all these quality policy, what is the mission of the mission of the organization, what is the who are the promoters, what is the vision they have, where they want to see their organization after 15 years, 25 years, 30 years. Okay, and along with that, which are the different types of products they have, what are the different services they have in that line, and what are the infrastructure facilities they have. Okay, and who are their they need to give the competitors information as well. They need to give the competitors information as well, and along with that SWOT analysis you need to do of the organization, and what is the future growth and prospect, or you can say what is the financial statements of the organization is. Okay, so all these things you need to collect, and for this sometime in organizations you can search any of the company. I think all these data here, some of the data is there like SWOT analysis, future growth, and financial statement. Especially the SWOT analysis you will be able to understand once you go to the organization. You can see them, you can discuss with them, and you can find out what exactly the you can find out what is the kind of opportunities are there for the organization to make a good amount of profit. Okay, so based on strengths, the always you will have the opportunities, and based on weakness you will have many of the threats. Okay, so that is how basically SWOT analysis will need to be done. And nowadays people are shifting this SWOT analysis as a SWOC, where threat has been replaced by the challenges. Okay, so generally this SWOC is possible when you are dealing with the trade, when you are dealing with the service-based firms, but in manufacturing it is even today called it as SWOT analysis only. Okay, and there are certain kind of future growth and prospects which the company will always have. So you can always look into it, and you can always think that how best you can make use of the thing. Okay, and financial services, if it is any company which is registered under BSc or NSC, so all those informations you will be able to get it in the website itself. For that you need not depend upon the accountant to arrive to give you those content. Okay, so that is how it goes. Okay, so this is what basically the chapter one contents, where it's only deals with about the company, it's only deals about the industry where you are going to do your research work. Okay, and followed by we have something called as conceptual background and literature review. Conceptual background and literature review. So when you'll be talking about the conceptual background and literature review here, let us take you have collected, you are going to do the project on motivation of employee. You are going to do the project on motivation of an employee. You are going to do the project in the motivation of an employee. If suppose you have selected that topic, so first thing you will be trying to identify what is the meaning of motivation, right? What exactly the motivation means. Then what are the different kinds of motivations are available. Well, is there any theory which is available for this topic or not? Okay, is there any model which is available or not? I think we all will be very much aware about the Maslow's hierarchy theory. Okay, we all will be very much know about the or familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy theory. So when you talk about the Maslow's hierarchy theory, it starts with the basic needs, goes to the social needs, safety needs, self-esteem, and self-actualization needs. So please understand all these different type of um, all these different types of skills will only work up to one level. Okay, and depends upon the which country you are in. If suppose you are in the some kind of developed if you are in the some kind of developed organizations, okay, at that point of time this Maslow's theory will not be even applicable, because there the standard of living will be high. Okay, so this Maslow's theory will be only applicable where the economy is in the developing stage, where the company uh, where the particular country is in the developing stage. If it is already developed countries kind of thing, at that point of time you will not find such kind of things in the any of the real market. Okay, then followed by we have something called as review, literature review, right? So literature review. So first thing is that always select any topic where you have an interest to do that. Okay, where you have an interest to do that. It should not happen that you don't even know the meaning of it and you just jump to the particular topic to start with the project work. Okay, so at that point of time it will not be right. It will not be right. Neither it will be better. Okay, so for that reason, it is always good to do the research in the known area where you have certain kind of good knowledge about the existing topic. where you have got good knowledge about the existing topic. Okay, so let us take if you are good in ratios. If you are good in ratios, so at that point of time you try to go ahead with the research work also with reference to ratio analysis. I can say like kind of financial statement analysis. Okay, I can say about the financial statement analysis of different two companies data set you can take and you can compare two different companies you can take and you can compare. Okay, so that is what the best part will be. So how you can interconnect. Okay, now I will ask you a question and you can just respond in the now I will just ask you a question, and based upon your understanding you please tell whether it is possible to do the research or not. Okay, so uh, do you think, okay, do you think, can I select a topic? Can I select a topic where it is interrelated? Like some part, some data I will be taking from the HR employee and some data set I will be taking from the finance company. Can I do such kind of interrelated kind of research? You can just type say, yes or no in the chat box. I'm waiting for your responses. Can I do any research or any project work which is interrelated in nature, which is, I can say, multidisciplinary, like HR with finance? Is it possible to do that? Is it possible to do? Please type your responses. Please type. Please type in the chat box only. Please type in the chat box. Can we stop entering the people now? Okay, I'm typing one of the title name here. Can you give your opinion there, whether it is one of the good title or what? Okay. So the people who thinks that no, it is not possible or this may not be the right topic, just I want to bring it in their notice that it is one of the good title actually which you can select for your research work. Okay. Let us simple you please understand here how exactly it works. Okay. How exactly it works. So if one side, why I told you this topic, because this kind of research you will find very rarely in the market. Okay. And there will be certain kind of research which you will always have, either your seniors may have done the project or your or you may have only done the research work in your degree time and all. Okay. So like let us take one side, data is all about the profit, right? It's all about the profit. And second side, you want to measure this profit in the terms of morale of an employee. Morale of an employee. Okay. So if here, if I take the profit part, okay, if I take the profit part. So here when you will be talking about the profit, it is in the terms of finance field. It is in the terms of finance field. When I talk about the morale of an employee, it is in the terms of HR. It is in the terms of HR. So please understand here, you are going to do the research in the uh, two different areas, but you are going to do the research in the two different areas, but you are going to evaluate the morale of an employee in the terms of qualitative parameters to quantitative parameters. Okay. And that you will try to find out whether it is having any kind of impact in your profit value, whether it is having any kind of impact on your profit value. Okay. So that is how it can be found, any kind of relationships between the two different set of things. It is possible. And once you will come up with this kind of something different, something innovative kind of titles, people will be more, they will also be having some kind of zeal to understand what exactly the kind of work which you have done, and they will also try to understand whether what is the final output. So people will have some kind of interest to know what exactly the kind of work you have gone through, right? So there are lot of resources are available here. Many times people feels that from where we should get this literature review, right? For that, for that, I will show you one of the sources from where you will be able to get lot and lot of sources. Okay, you need not to write all these things. I will be sharing all these things with the sir, and then in turns, sir will be forwarding to all of you. Okay, so that whenever you are free, you can just browse and you can make use of the opportunity. Okay, so here there are lot and lot of e-resources. See, nowadays, the problem is that we are only bound to the searching with the content in the internet, right? Before the any kind of research, it used to be start with the library, and people used to go and follow, or they used to search many of the content, right? They need to search the many of the content, and then they need to work on the report work. But nowadays people are working on the internet, so they will try to get, or they will try to collect lot of data, or they will try to get it the input only within the ready-made kind of data which is readily available, and there only they will try to dig something more and more. Okay, so quite obviously this internet is kind of complementing to the libraries, but no, but internet can never, but any internet cannot replace your libraries. Okay, always the best resources for your any kind of things is the library. Okay, so whenever you found any kind of data which is you are not able to get, I think librarian will be the one of the right person who can guide you to get the any kind of resources, especially for your research or project work. Okay, so why people have started using more of e-resources is due to certain reason. Like one is it is up to date resources. Okay, and it is convenient of the use. It is convenience of the use, and people are looking for extra features. So like they are looking for more and more links on the database, some kind of supplementary informations, okay, certain kind of links and all for the references, and so on. And even any kind of materials, if you are looking for in the local library, you will be they will be easily, it will be available to all of you, okay. And this e-resources, why e-resources, why the most of the time people uses is because of the copy paste facility, because of the copy paste facility, okay. Because anything which is there in the soft copy, people will try to paste it, right? Okay, then these are the some of the information search tools which you have. Like you have got library catalogs. If you will approach your librarian, I think he or she will be the right person to give you a lot and lot of input. Okay, full text database if you are looking for where you should get ebooks or you should look for e-journals. At that point of time, you can go for the Springer link or you can go for the Science Direct. Okay. Along with that, you have got JGate Plus, you have got Web of Science, IEEE Explore, Mediline or PubMed. Okay, all are excellent for the citation purpose, which is most of the researchers they use for their research work. Along with that, you have got search engine as Google Scholar, and some of the institutes they have even some kind of membership in with the some kind of e-materials kind of things where you can get some e-prints at all. Okay, that is from the University of Mysore. Basically, base you have NDLTD, you have Shodh Ganga, you have, okay. In Shodh Ganga, what is available is all about the thesis only. It's all about the thesis only is available. Thesis means which the people may have done their PhD work and all. And for getting the any kind of statistical data and all, you have indiastat.com. You have indiastat.com. And if you are looking for patent information and all, you has USPTO. Okay. And along with that, you can see on my screen also, like you can just type Mysore University, or you can type library, Mysore University library. It will take you to the particular browser. And sometime, even though if you don't have login ID credentials and all, you can select your area and you will be able to select the any kind of content from there. Okay. In and again, most of the this one colleges or universities, they have got lot of Springer ebooks. They have got lot of Springer ebooks. Okay, so on an average, you can find it is more than 29,513 totally free access, totally free open access kind of informations are provided to the in, people. Okay, and you have even some certain ebooks which is under the Taylor and Francis. Like here they have got, you can see the number of titles under the different specializations, and the number is approximately 7,427. Okay, and if you are looking for any kind of thesis work, so you can go to the E shows Sindhu, and you will get the whole project report itself. Okay. So first they may have written about the university, and under each university how many institutes are there and how many journals they have. All these things will be you will be able to find out out here. Then followed by you have something e shows in the resources. This is what the numerical data which is available. Like you have got CUP, you have got ACS, you have got GESTOR, you have got AIP, you have got AIP. Okay. Then you have even the some kind of project works. You have got Springer publications. You have got Emerald. You have got this one, Emerald as well. Okay, just a second. Okay, so okay. And followed by Science Direct. You can even go to the Science Direct where you have got more than 1036 journals. Okay, you have got more than 1036 journals, and you have database from Math Science Net, you have from Web of Science, iScholar, and you have from Journal Store also, JSTOR we call it as, where it is more than 3071 journals we have. Then you have JGate Plus. Okay, that is also you will get it free access from the eShow Sindhu. And for that, you can even create your accounts like either as a faculty or either as a student. It is totally free. You need not to make any payment. And these are the numbers of the journals and books, free access, which is available. Either you are looking from India or either you are looking from India and overseas. Okay. You have one best one, that is we call it as CS also. Okay. If students from the chemistry department, they generally use this. And if anybody who is trying to do the research in the any kind of general topic or related to the agriculture, economy development, inflation and all, they always go with the indiastat.com. They always go with the indiastat.com, where you will get all the statistical database. Where you will get all the statistical database. You have EBSCO also, but here certain some of the journals are free. It is a number is approximately 25 percentage, and remaining 65 to 75% it is absolutely paid versions. Okay, so you can just check with your librarian. If you have got this, you will be able to download the papers easily. Okay, so and along with that anything some IEEE Explorer we have. Okay, ASCE library we have. So along with that we have got almost ASME digital collection library. And if you're looking for e-books, like more than 1,35,000 books are there in the National Library and Information Services infrastructure part. Okay, then there is a one more, that is Pirate Bay of Science. We have a pirate way of science. Okay, so in pirate way of science, like you can just copy the content. Okay, you can just copy the content, like you can just copy the link and you can just paste it over there. Okay, you can just copy it and you can just get it there. So at that point of time, whatever the paper which you are not able to download from the publisher site, you'll be able to download with the pirated way of science. Okay, this is how it looks like. Actually it is a illegal site, but then also they provide all the kinds of paper, so that basically they helps the researchers not to pay a lot of money for just for downloading of the articles, and that too they will be just using it for the review of literature part. Okay, Sky Hub is one of the very famous one which is going on, and it is banned from the many of the countries. Okay, but for downloading purpose, because you are not going to create any kind of illegal activities, so for that purpose you can make use of it. Along with that, we have even Meta Library, which is totally free for the students. But here you need to give the institute name, official university numbers, and all those things. You will be able to access, access the content over here. Next, apart from that, you can even go to the base, that is we call this as Bill-Field academic search engines. Okay, good source of theses you will get it here from the different domains. Either you are from commerce, either you are from management, either you're from science. Okay, and along with that, just a second. Okay. And along with that, you have eShod as always. Okay. So like this, there are so many more journals also you have. So these are the sources you should use for downloading your research article. Okay. And once you found any research article, what you need to do, you need to find out the research gap. Okay. What was the title? What was the title means nothing but the objective of the any research paper. Or so generally whenever we are writing the review of literature, it is only based on the research paper. Okay, so there you need to identify what is the objectives of the research was, and whether at the end of the research whether they able to achieve that objective or not, whether they were in the position to evaluate that objective or not. If you feel yes, they have evaluated, they have identified the right gap, then that particular thing, you that particular paper, you cannot consider it for the review of literature. Something which they have set as your objective, but in evaluation, but in analysis, they did not able to found at that point of time. There is a gap. What you planned, but what you did not able to achieve. Okay, so that gap is there. That you can find is as a gap, and that you can fix it as your objective. So basically, you are trying to do something which other person have not done it. If suppose you find something which has already been done by someone, so then you cannot say that is a good research, then you cannot say it is a good research. Okay, then one more thing here, next is we talks about the research design. Okay, we talk about the research design. Please understand there is a connectivity. Please understand there is a connectivity. Like based on your title, based on your title, okay, your title and everything, you will be reframing it based on the statement of problem. Based on the statement of problem. And based on the problem, based on the problem, based on the statement of the problem, you will be trying to define your objectives of the study, right? And based on the objectives of the study, you will always have your hypothesis. You will always have your hypothesis. So quite obviously, by defining the objectives of study, you are going to finalize your title of the research. Please understand, all these four things are very much interrelated. Okay. First, you will finding out the research gap. First, you will be trying to find out with the research gap. Once research gap is identified, you will go with the defining the problem statement. Once the statement of the problem is defined, that statement of the problem will be there in the questionable format, right? That you are going to make it in the objective basis. Once the objectives of the study is defined, based on the objective, see, fixing the hypothesis, there are two things. One, some people will fix the hypothesis based on the title of the report, and some people will fix it based on the objective of the research. Based on the objective of the research. Okay, or based on the objective of the project. So when you'll be talking about the title, when you'll be talking about the title of the project, so if you have, so some of the projects you may have seen, it is only carrying one objective or one objective, right? So most of the time you can understand that the title will be very vast, or title is very wide, will carry lot of general perspective. Okay, as much as possible, always your title should be very specific. As much as possible, your title should always be very specific. Okay, it cannot be so vast where you cannot do lot and lot of analysis over there, which you cannot even justify. So it doesn't mean that every project should have minimum 5 to 10. Many times people have asked, sir, how many objectives I should have? So it is totally depending upon your perception. If you feel there is a one objective which carries lot of weightage, you can go with that. Or else it is good if you can keep minimum 2 to maximum of 3. That is good number. Okay, it speaks good actually about that. So this objectives you need to define only based upon your statement of the problem only. These objectives of the study need to be defined based upon the statement of the problem only. And this hypothesis need to be framed either by title or either based on the objectives of the study. Okay, either based on the title or either based on the objectives of the study. Okay, then then followed by then followed by what is the scope of the study? What is the scope of the study? So here the scope of the study was, so here the scope of the study, when you'll be talking about, like, is it so what is the population? Okay, like let us take, if you're talking about the finance, so how many years of data have you taken? If let us take, you are taking 5 years of data, which kind of companies have you opted for? Okay, which kind of companies have you opted for? Like, are you taking only IT companies, or you are taking only manufacturing companies? In IT companies, what kind of set of companies have you selected? On what basis are you selecting? Just like based on our liking disliking, we cannot take it. Okay, so that is that defines the scope. Okay, and what is the duration? In finance, generally we define with the year, right? Like, okay, 2018 to 2023. So this is what the number of years of data we are going to take, right? So that is very much important. What is the scope? Are you conducting? Sometimes people, you may have seen, no, they may have written the I am conducting the research in the India. Is it really possible for anyone to conduct the research on for all the Indian market? Not possible. So that time, you, in your title you can write it, but in scope you can define, I am doing my research only in Hyderabad, or I am doing the research only in Bangalore. because my sample or my data set which I have selected is only from that particular place, right? So that scope of the study, you need to be very clear with what exactly that from where basically you are collecting your sample. Okay, and very important is just like that people will select the sample, just like that people will select the sample, and if you will ask them no on what basis have they selected, so they will not be having any right answers. So I'll be sharing this research article with all of you, which has got more than lakhs together citations here. Okay, just a second, it is getting open. So you can see that this research article has got more than 1 lakh citations. So here, this paper, this is one of the mathematical paper which has been derived with the formula of Z, which has been derived with the formula of Z. Okay, formula of N, where they have shown that based upon the mathematical equations, they have identified that if suppose, see, if suppose you are following the confidence level 95 percentage, if your population size is this, can you see this 50, 75, 100, 150? If your population size is this should be your sample size. This should be your sample size. Okay, so this sample size need to be determined based on the population size, based on the population size. So now let me explain you what is this population and what is this sample is all about. Okay, let us take, you are going to do a HR project. You are going to do the HR project, and you have selected ABB company for that. You have selected ABB company. In ABB company, okay, how many number of employees? Let us take, there are 300 employees in the organization. Okay, 300 employees. In which organization? So what is the scope for this? We assume that it is only based on Bangalore. It is only based on Bangalore. So what is our population here? Our population is all the number of employees, all the number of employees. Okay, that is 300. That is 300. So now what is our sample size? What is our sample size? So our sample size is, if my population is 300, what my sample size should be? It should be 168. So I will select my sample size as 168. I will select my sample size as 168. So this is the example for HR people. If let us take about the case of marketing, and here I am trying to do the research on Oppo phones. Okay, on Oppo phones. So now in Oppo phones, what is my zone? Let us take, my area is Bangalore, and in that I am again classifying it to Banshankari area. Okay, Banshankari area. So I will go to all the retail, or I will try to go to all the retail shop, either. Okay, so I will try to go to all the this one retail shops, and I will try to get the data. How many number of customers they have, number of customers who are, who have purchased, who have purchased who have purchased Oppo phone. Okay, who has purchased Oppo phone, and I will try to collect the numbers over there. Let us take, we get to know there are 1,000 number of people who have purchased this phone during last month. During last month. Okay, so now we are very clear with, we are going to do the research on Oppo phones. Okay, about their brand image or about their customer satisfaction. Okay, we have in our scope we have to define that we have selected Banshankari area, which is one of the area in Bangalore. Okay, and what is the time period we are fixing? That is during the last month. Last month was, it is Jan, it is Jan 2022. Okay, so this is my scope here. Okay, for this, what is my population? My population is number of customers here. My population is number of customers here. Number of customers here means, okay, so number of customers here, it will be 1,000. Okay, and sample, and sample, for this what I can do, for this what I can do, I can refer the research paper. So as per this, if my population size is 1,000, my sample should be 278. So I will create sample size as 278. Okay, and and followed by and then followed by I will frame my hypothesis. So when you are talking about the hypothesis, when you talk about the hypothesis, please understand, okay, hypothesis are nothing but it is a kind of assumptions which you make before starting of the research. Here you will have two things. One, we say it is a H naught, which will be indicated as H0. Another one we'll have that is H1, okay, or we call it as HA also, okay. That stands for the alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis, okay, alternative hypothesis. So one is H naught, that is null hypothesis. That is null hypothesis. So now null hypothesis means there is no difference between there is no difference between two variables between two variables, okay. And alternative variable means there is a difference there is a difference there is a difference between two variables, okay. Either the variables can be one can be dependent and or okay, one can be depend it can be dependent with dependent or dependent variable with independent variable, okay. And thus dependent with the independent or independent with independent or independent variable with independent variable. So any kind of relationship if you try to establish between the two variables, for the proving purpose we make the hypothesis here, okay. So null hypothesis means when there is a no difference between the two variables, and alternative will come with that there is significance difference or there is a difference. So when you will be talking about this hypothesis, before that you should understand there is something called as two-tailed test and one-tailed test. Two-tailed test and one-tailed test, okay. What is this two-tailed test and one-tailed test is? Two-tailed test means when you try to bring one variable either equal to or not equal to, okay, either equal to or not equal to. One tail test, when you try to bring one variable is greater than or less than the other variable, less than the other variable, okay. Let us take I can write it like Rajesh knowledge is equal to participants knowledge. Rajesh knowledge is equivalent to participants knowledge. So here what is happening that one variable is becoming equal to another variable. This is your null hypothesis. This is your H naught, okay. This is your H naught. Now, when I say that, okay, when I say that, see, writing this alternative hypothesis, it is only about the wordings what you use. So when I say it is alternative hypothesis, I will say that Brijesh knowledge is not equivalent to participants' knowledge. Okay. This knowledge is not equivalent to participants' knowledge. At that point of time, it is two-tailed test. At that point of time, it is two-tailed test because in null hypothesis we are fixing there is no difference at all. But in alternative hypothesis we are fixing as there is a difference. As there is a difference, right? Means either Brijesh may have more knowledge or participants may have, but there is a difference between the knowledge level. Okay, that becomes one-tailed test. Two-tailed test. In one-tailed test, please be on my screen. When I say one-tailed test, here what will happen that the same one-tailed test, same statement But rather than using the equal to symbol in alternative, I will use either greater than symbol or or lesser than symbol. Okay, greater than symbol or lesser than symbol. Okay, so at that point of time, same alternative hypothesis will come under one tail test. Will come under one tail test. So whenever you use certain words like at least, okay, while framing your hypothesis, that is at least, at most, less than, okay, less than, then more than, less than, more than. Okay. So at that point of time, it will become one tail test. It will become one tail test. If you are understood till here, please type numerical number 7 in the chat box. If you are clear till here, please type numerical number 7 in the chat box. If you have understood till here, please type numerical number 7 in the chat box. Are you all there? If yes, please type numerical number 7 in the chat box. Okay. So, uh, okay. So along with that, quite obviously, every research will come with the certain kind of limitations as well. Like you may have had got very less time. You may college or institutions, they may have given you hardly 3 months or 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Okay, and while collecting the data, it may have become that also difficult task, right? Like how you are going to approach everyone during this pandemic period. So only through the Google form, only through the Google form, or only through the certain kind of online website, or only through the online websites, you will be able to get, certain kind of responses, right? But during this pandemic, it is very difficult for anyone to collect the data, basically, right? For anyone, it matters, either students or either the faculties or whoever they are. So and again, in chapter 3, you can even create the chapter scheme. Like chapter 1 is all about what, chapter 2 is all about what, 3, 4, 5, like that. You have to create a chapter scheme. Chapter 4 is all about the analysis and interpretation, where you have got lot of softwares. Otherwise, best you can even make use of the Excel, and you can make your tables, charts, and followed by you have to write the interpretations for each and every table. Okay. So for finance students means they may have generally calculated some certain kind of ratios. They may have compared two kinds of your any kind of two variables like sales over the assets value. Okay. And marketing and HR, they may have they will always go with the structured questionnaires, and with the help of that they will be doing their own analysis. And based upon the kind of test, based upon your data set, you may have selected what type of statistical test you are going to apply. Okay. And you will be giving the interpretations for that. Once that whole analysis, everything is done, you will be writing the findings, right? You'll be writing the findings, you will be concluding the research, and you'll be giving the suggestions. You can only give suggestions, but you cannot make someone to follow it. It is totally depending upon the organizations. Okay, that is why it is considered to be the suggestion. Next is you have got bibliography. Okay, so bibliography, never always write that name of the author of the book and all those things. For that, best is you can download those books and you can use the APA format, which is the recent one which is going on. And all these things you can do it through the Mendeley software itself. There is a one software called as Mendeley. Okay, Mendeley. Okay, one of the fantastic software for all these things. Okay, for writing the bibliography especially, and you can write even the bibliography, that is directly you can take it from the website itself. Okay, followed by you have to, if suppose you have certain content which you want to show in your research, in your project work, but it does not fit under any kind of chapters, like it can be figures, it can be graphs, it can be photographs and all. Okay, so those things you can put it under the annexures of the project work. Then we have publication of the research findings. I am not sure about the all the universities, but almost in India, at almost 70% of the universities, they emphasize that a student should work on the related to their project work. They should work on any of the research topic, and they should get their paper published through seminars, conferences, or in any kind of technical or management fest. Okay, so there it will bring some kind of enhancement when you are preparing the final project report for your university purpose. Okay, there are certain suggestions from my side. If possible, don't do the project in certain areas, like if you are a finance candidate, if you will do the project in these topics, no, it is very old topics like working capital management, ratio analysis, non-performing assets, inventory management, financial statement analysis, trend analysis, cash flow management. All these topics are very old. Repeatedly, so many people have done it. There is nothing much to find out now in this area, right? So better to look for the other new topics which are coming in the market. Okay, followed by in marketing, if you are talking about, so don't conduct on customer behavior, consumer behavior, market segment. These are the repetitive kind of topic which is one or the other you will get thousands and thousands of project work. Okay, and then you have HR area also, like there it is all about recruitment, selection, training and development, performance appraisal, employee satisfaction. Okay, so this was from my end with the presentation part. So now I request all the participants, you can just type your questions in the chat box, and I am ready to clarify your doubts.
Yeah, we request all the participants, if you have any doubts with regard to projects, you kindly either you can type in the chat box, otherwise you can even ask the sir orally also. Sir, somebody asked new topics.
New topic.
Means, yeah.
Okay, in which field? Like, is it marketing, finance, HR? Okay. I think recently H analytics is going on more now. You can do it on HR analytics. In finance, you can do it on mutual funds. In marketing, you can think about the guerrilla marketing.
I
See,
think, sir, in finance, HR, marketing, if you can give two topics, no, it will be good, sir.
yes, sir. In
Yeah.
finance, they can work on the mutual funds, or
That is analysis of mutual funds, sir.
yes, sir. In finance, I will type it in the chat box.
Yeah.
Mutual funds and okay, optimal, one second, sir. Optimal portfolio model, or else you can even work it on the behavioral finance.
Yeah.
Behavioral finance. And marketing people, marketing. Okay, so in marketing, mm, so in marketing, people can think about guerrilla marketing, and yes, e-commerce is one of the recent one. Otherwise, online shopping, right? Online shopping, or you can even find out the segmentation to use the online shopping kind of things. And in HR, you can think about HR analytics. Okay. And just give me some time. So maybe by Sunday or Monday, I may have send some kind of list of title with the sir, so that you will be able to get more on that. Okay. But please take or please select as per your area of interest. Just don't select just because I am telling you to select. Okay. That may not be the right decision.
So one more thing is somebody asked, can we take general topics?
General topic, yes, sir. We can take. We can take, sir. Any other questions?
Sir, somebody asked, can we take products?
Yes, sir.
Can we take products for the project?
Uh, we can, sir. We can. Okay, okay. Manage it. Yes, sir. What would you suggest to, especially in HR, finance, or marketing? See, that is totally goes to your area of interest. I should not tell you that you should select finance just because I'm a finance guy, right? So, if you will take my suggestion, please take always finance. Please take finance. What is the future in finance after MBA? Totally depending upon our skills, nothing else. For that we should have a for that we need to get some kind of uh, membership in professional bodies like RAI. I think RAI is one of the best one to use for the retail based data set. I will be suggesting you some kind of topics. I'll be sending you maybe within 3 to 4 days through Raghavendra sir. Okay. Any other doubts?
Somebody is asking, can we do on cryptocurrency because it is not permittable in India?
Project we can do, sir.
Okay.
Project part we can do.
Any more doubts you are having? Kindly, uh, sir. I think if you can tell about Google Scholar, it will be good. It seems, sir.
Which one, sir?
Google Scholar.
Sir,
Whether it will be
better than that, I think I have given the e-resources content now.
yeah, correct.
That will be much, much better, sir.
Right.
Because in Google Scholar, what happens? If I have uploaded my research paper, 50 times if I will see that paper, it will cited by 50. That is not right way actually. So that is why it is better to follow the right path. That is so. For that, it is better to go with the others rather than Google Scholar.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes. So, anyone else who has got any other doubts?
So there is something called as how do we connect database to an e-commerce website?
Sir, for that reason, we should have a professional body membership in RISE, sir. Retail Association of India, sir.
Okay.
Certain data are available free, but few which we are looking for very specific, we need to go for the membership.
Right.
Startups, if your university or college permits, you can do that. Okay. So anyone else who has got any other kind of doubts?
For any student wants to give any kind of feedback, if they want to give how was the session and all, they can just unmute themselves and they can speak here for 2 minutes. Then we can, I will send the feedback link and then we can close the session here.
Yes, sir.
So I request any student kindly unmute yourself and speak how was session and what is your experience in this session. Yes, I think Akshara, you have raised your hand. Can you please speak once? Yeah, just a minute. We will make everybody to unmute here. 1 minute. Just a minute. We are unmuting all the people. Yeah, now you can unmute yourself and you can speak now.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, Ganesh.
Yeah, sir. Sir, there are several types of review literature models, right, sir? Sir, which is the best model for the review literature? Hello.
Brijesh, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, there is no particular specific model. Okay, sir. That depends totally upon you, how exactly you want to present it. But best one is always the paragraph model. But if you are preparing for your presentations, tabular format will be the good.
Right. Any
Excuse
more
me.
student?
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Sejal.
sir.
Tell me, Sejal.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Sejal. Tell me.
Sir, I'm working on a e-commerce website using a HTML and CSS code. Our college requires to connect a database to it for a final project, sir. So I'm having a difficulty to connect my website to the database, sir.
I think I told na that you can go for the Retail Association of India. You will, but difficult for
Okay.
individual to get the membership. But I think through college you can get it.
Okay,
Even
sir.
there is some kind of free trial. I think for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any other doubts anybody have?
I request any student kindly give your feedback so that we can send the feedback link and then we can close the session here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Varshini?
It was a great seminar, webinar, sir. It was a very useful to us, and it is we are starting the project. Sir. It was a great opportunity to join the webinar, and thank you so much, sir, for giving such a suggestions to us.
Thank you, Varshini. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Eliza, tell
So,
me.
yes, sir. So, good afternoon. I am Eliza from St. Mary's. So, I really thank you, sir, for giving such a great information to us. And I just thank I just thank everyone to joining this and thank you. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Eliza. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for all your responses in the chat box, feedback in the chat box. Now the feedback link is shared in the chat box. I request all of you kindly fill up the feedback link without any mistakes. I repeat again here, kindly fill up the feedback link without any mistakes so that you will be getting your certificate with the same kind of credentials. And we will be conducting so many research programs in the coming days. So we expect everybody to be a part of our research programs for the exclusively for the students, because we understand that students should be nurtured towards the research, and for that purpose we wanted to develop the students community towards the research policies. So you will be getting so many information, so much of information, maybe in the groups or through mails. So accordingly, you can just register yourself and you can participate in the other programs also. The feedback link will be only valid for 20 minutes. So kindly complete the feedback, and then once it is completed, I have already shared, sir, but again I am sharing here. Again, it is shared here. So I thank Professor Vijay, sir. Sir, you are there?
Yes, sir. Sir, 1 second, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity again. And I thank management, principal, head of the department, and special thanks to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
And
sir.
let me thank first of all Professor Vijay Singh, sir, because when we have planned this particular SDP, when I asked him, irrespective of his busy schedule, also he has said okay, and then accordingly he has taken his own time to give you all these valuable inputs. Let me thank our principal, sir, Sri K. Raghuvir, who has immediately taken out our request and he has always supported us for this SDP. And let me thank my co-conveners, Ramyasri madam, as well as Srinath sir, and as well as the other team members who have been with me for giving all the information to through various channels and all. And let me thank our technical support team, Sham sir, who has arranged all the kind of technicalities for having a good session like this without any kind of audio or video disturbances. So I thank all the participants first, because you people have shown a very good interest, and you people have joined, and you people have listened to this session, and I hope this session was a great session for all of you. Right. So you will be getting a certificates very soon, within a 1 week or 10 days. So don't worry, and you will be getting the certificates into your email. So kindly check your email. After 1 week, if you don't get the certificate, you can just call me or you can just put a message me. There is no problem. We will look into that. So I thank all the participants.
Thank you, sir.
Please take care of your health and excel yourself and develop yourself. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.